Welcome, everybody. I can see that we have some more participants now, so I think we're going to jump in and start today's webinar in order to respect the time. So this is already the fourth webinar, in case somebody was not here when I mentioned it. So the Stitch project is presenting a series of webinars where we are already in the fourth, which is the Stitching the Future, AI and Digital Tools as Enablers of Sustainable Fashion. So in a minute, I will set the scene a little bit to explain what else we have covered today. But this topic for me so far is definitely one of the most exciting, because we at Smart Innovation Norway are organizing it within the AI Plus conference, which is happening right now in Halden in Norway, which is a large conference on applied artificial intelligence, bringing in different actors from various sectors, both from the private and public sectors as well. And today you might already see, sorry, I will just put this out on the big screen. You might already see that we have other speakers as well. So I will be the moderator of the webinar from Smart Innovation Norway. But of course, I'm also joined here by Einar Mikkelsen, who is a very interesting professional from the artificial intelligence and digital industry. So he has quite an extensive experience, both in sustainability and specifically the fashion sector. And he is a very smart expert on digital tools and artificial intelligence, being the founder of various AI companies, for instance, Circular Resale, Circulair, and agencies. And at the next phase, we are also going to be hearing from Stian Malhus, who's my colleague from Smart Innovation Norway, who will be speaking more directly to the educators, sharing very practical examples and tools that both boost efficiency but also open up the creative mind as well. And to give a little bit of context about the Stitch project for those who might not have been following yet, we are already quite progressed in this project, where the main goal is to integrate sustainability and specifically the fashion sustainability in the fashion industry to secondary schools. So we are targeting both the teachers and encourage and enable them with both knowledge, but also tools to integrate these topics and engage their students. So we are using the STEAM approach, so trying to combine the fields of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics to foster creativity, critical thinking, innovation, and so on. And you might be wondering why the Stitch project, which is primarily about education, is talking about these topics in an AI conference, and what is the relevance of that. And that is because we are trying to bring together these two worlds, which are often not discussed together, but only separately, even though they actually go hand in hand, because it is the schools and the classrooms where the generations of the future are being nurtured and being raised, basically. And they need to have the knowledge and understanding not only about what kind of technologies are out there, but also the opportunities and responsibilities that come with using these new technologies. So we need to ensure that they are equipped with digital literacy, and that they can actually apply this in the future in a responsible and in a way that has a positive impact for our future as well, and for our world. So we try to take the goal where technology is acting as an enabler and not the goal itself. And as I said, a little recap of where we are. So we started mid-March with the first webinar in the series, where you could hear more about the Stitch project in more details. We shared the vision and the approach that the project takes. Then we continued on how to translate this awareness about sustainability topics into action and how to bring that into the education. You could hear a lot of practical examples already at that point on how to bring in this topic into the classroom. So a lot of practical activities were shared, applying the STEAM methodology. And then we continued that earlier in May, where recycling and sustainability practices in the fashion industry were introduced and talked about. And again, the topic of how to transfer those practices into education. And so basically what is today about? Is it about robots? Well, not exactly. You might have different ideas or understanding right now on where artificial intelligence is standing today, but I can assure you that it's definitely not only about robots, also that, but not only. So today we are trying to explore how these AI and digital tools can make this topic of sustainable fashion not only more accessible, but also more practical and engaging, primarily for equipping teachers with this tool set. So we're going to talk about some examples in businesses on how AI is already being used in the real world, but also how these examples can inspire the classroom. We're also going to hear some very practical tools, as I said, from my colleague, and show you how those tools can help you engage your students with technology in a more creative way. And without further ado, I will pass the word to Einar Mikaelsen, who will share about his very personal experience, over 10 years of hands-on experience with AI and automation.
Sorry. Thank you, Danka. Everyone can hear me? Yeah, very good. So I'm going to talk today about AI in circular fashion. Of course, we can talk a bit about AI in more general kind of the fashion industry as well. But my work has primarily been with applying AI as a tool to make circular business models more viable and kind of make it possible to actually make money on kind of doing circular business models. So quick background on myself. I've worked with sorry, AI and automation for the last 10 years. I've built a Nordic Center of Excellence in Santander in the Nordics, led AI and emerging technologies in KPMG, and most recently I founded Circular, Norway's fastest growing curated secondhand chain, and also Circular Resale, the AI native operating system for resale. So I'll give even more insights on these companies because I'm going to talk about how we actually applied AI in those companies to kind of automate as much as possible. Yeah, we're going to dive into that later on. So right now I'm building a VC-backed AI company that's called Away.ai. We recently changed names, so forgot to update you on that, Danka, and in your presentation. But yeah, that's also really exciting. And with all the advancements that's happening within AI today, it's a really exciting time to be building a company. And I like before we jump into the details, I'd like to encourage everyone to start playing around with AI to try to kind of build something of your own. It could be like something that you do every day that's maybe taking some time and kind of taking time away from your day, or kind of things that are maybe a bit boring to do, and just see if you can automate parts of it. And I know that Stian will give some examples of that later on, like how you can get started. I'm really looking forward to that. And I often say that building AI apps is like, or building things with AI is like making pancakes. The first one is rarely any good, but you learn a lot, and the next ones will become better and better. So, uh, on that note, I'll dive into my presentation. Um, so, yeah, I've founded Circular, a retail company doing yeah, secondhand clothing. And from the experience of building a secondhand or like a store with or like a chain with a circular business model, we decided to build a technology company on top of that because we needed to solve our own problems. And I'm going to give you some insights on Circular, the first company, and then I'm going to talk a bit about the technology company and the actual technology and how it's being used today. And I'm also going to talk a bit about the process of developing our own technology. And hopefully, if hopefully you learn something. I love to talk about these companies and how we use AI. So let's get into it. So when we started the first company, Circular, we started with this insight. 26% of your wardrobe was unused last year. This is from numbers from a study done in the UK. And it means like you have yeah, 1/4 of your wardrobe just sitting there unused. And then we know, at least in Norway, the average person owns like 390 items of clothing. So there is a lot of items that's just not being used. And we wanted to do something about that and put those kind of items into a system. So our goal is to make secondhand the first choice for primarily now women in Oslo, but in the future, maybe other cities as well. So Circular is an award-winning startup within circular fashion and resale. And our background as the founders of this company is not retail. We have never kind of done retail. We've come from management consulting and banking and trying to apply a completely different mindset into this like circular fashion industry. So our goal has always been to standardize, industrialize, and commercialize resale and make it as attractive, as available, as inspiring as buying new products. We want to give you the same feeling that you get from buying fast fashion, because fast fashion companies are experts in this, in making you being interested in buying more. And that's like for some kind of other examples of what's being done within fashion today. You have so many tools for making it easier to buy, to making it much easier to sit at home and kind of order something. You have virtual try-ons that is now using a lot of AI to kind of make the item sit on your body. You have also different tools for getting the sizing right, to reducing returns. So a lot of tools is being used and applied today to kind of sell more. But we want to make use of everything that's already there. So there is already enough clothing for the next 9 generations, at least here in Norway. And we want to utilize that to the max. And the business model is very simple. It's a physical marketplace where you can buy and sell modern secondhand clothing, where sellers keep 40% of the sale and Circular keeps 60%. The items can be in the store for 30 days, and we get in somewhere between 200 and 400 new items every day. So I'm giving some context to help you understand kind of the business model and the scale of things, because what's important here is that every item is unique, which makes efficiency like terrible because you have to handle each and every one of these items. And before AI, that took a lot of time. And that's the main problem that we have kind of been trying to solve, just increasing our throughput, increasing our speed, increasing the quality of the work that we're doing using AI. So it's a platform, it's two-sided. So you have sellers and you have buyers. But it is a store. It's a physical store. But we wanted it to be more of a tech-first concept. So we decided, okay, we want to build a portal where you have like live notifications and you can follow all of the your items. We wanted to make it faster to list the items. So we use AI to automate data capture and listing. I'm going to show that afterwards. We also trained our own machine learning model to help us with pricing. I'm also going to dive into that. And all of our items get automated like titles and descriptions that is made with search engine optimization and answer engine optimization in mind. And this is the cool thing about building your own company, is like you can take these choices from day one. You can do this 100% customized, and you can just do things. So we started with the seller journey in mind, and then worked our way backwards to the tech. And initially, like when we started up, it was a mess. To be honest, it was like we used some tech for this and some other tech for that, and then we had to pull it all together. And we decided that we need to build our own software to handle kind of our business model end to end. And now with the advancements of AI, you can also do that really fast, and that I'm also going to dive into. And so first we decided to do it internally, but then after seeing the interest from the market, we decided to build it as a software product. And let me dive into just that, because Circular Resale is that product, and I'm going to say a few words about what it is, and then I'm going to show you what it actually does. And that's the cool part. We have built this company on probably 50 to 60 different AI agents running at all times. And I'm going to talk a bit about some of those AI agents, because it can sound like a bit like intimidating with all these agents. But what it actually does is just helps the people working in the store work faster and have more time to focus on customers and sales and that stuff. So Circular Resale is the company that we built to solve our problem. And the problem that we wanted to solve is that the unit economics in circular fashion is terrible. So every item is unique, and you can spend up to 15 minutes handling one product if you want to also sell online. So you have to enter the data about this product into your system. You have to maybe track the size, the material, category, brand, stuff like that. Then you need to do research on the pricing. And then you might want to have optimized descriptions so that you can be found on Google, so that you can kind of, if someone wants to buy your items on ChatGPT, it surfaces there as well. And if you kind of optimize for all of these things, it takes a lot of time. And then in linear business, like regular retail, you enter the product once and then you sell it thousands of times. Then it makes sense to spend all of this time. But in circular business models where every item is unique, it does not make sense to handle each and every one. So that's why we built what we call the AI native operating system for resale. And what we do is we solve the unit economics within this space. And now in our software, you can add the product in less than 10 seconds and then sell everywhere. So it's integrated with your point of sales and it's integrated with your online store. And I'm going to show you an example of how that works. So one of the things we want to do is to capture as much information as possible about the product. So from an image, we get that it's a hoodie, we get the brand, we get the color, and we push that data to our own machine learning model that will, based on historic sales, suggest a price. And then instantly it's available to sell on the point of sales and the online store. So this is me checking and making it available in the online store. And this is just a loop of the video. But basically, what happens is that this is 8 different AI agents, and I'm going to talk about some of them. We have specialized AI agents that goes in to find the category. We use the Shopify product taxonomy or category taxonomy, and there is maybe 12,000. I'm going to go away from the movie because it's a bit hard to follow both speaking and watching. But yeah, so there is 12,000 categories, and in order to find the correct one, we kind of have one agent look at the top level of all. There is 15 different top level categories, and then we have another agent that kind of looks at the second layer and third layer and fourth layer and so on. So only for this finding the correct category, we have 3 agents or 4 agents. And then we have for the brand, for the color, for the material, and so on. And all of what all of these are doing is just gathering information. And then this information is sent to our own machine learning model that we trained on. If someone is very technical, it's called an XGBoost model. It's like a machine learning framework. It's the old kind of AI, not the fancy LLM stuff, but the kind of AI that's really fast, really reliable, and really efficient. So we use that so that we can set the correct price every time and really fast. And then that's pushed to the Shopify and to the point of sales and so on, so we can sell everywhere. So this was a process that we, as I mentioned, can spend 10 to 15 minutes on for one item. And doing it in 10 seconds just opens up a whole new range of possibilities within these kinds of business models. And this is, I'm going to show you something that we recently did, because so now we're talking about in the fashion industry and like garments and like apparel. But I was a couple of months ago approached by some recycling stations that are doing resale, but of anything that come into their recycling stations and that's reusable. And they get so much like perfectly fine items into their recycling stations. And they came to me and asked me, Anna, can you use the same approach but for any kind of item? And I thought, okay, this is a very interesting challenge, because if you're able to make all of the stuff that comes into the recycling stations digital, then it opens up some new possibilities for like more like local loops and local circular business models, because you might have someone that likes to do like upcycling of lamps, for example. There is someone in Norway doing that. Um, in order to make that a business that's scalable, you need reliable material, like a reliable source of products that you can upcycle. And if all the recycling stations make their products or the things that they get in that's usable, if they make those digital, they can make those available for those business owners trying to make these kind of local new businesses that want to, for example, upcycle lamps. So that's what we tried to do. We applied the same techniques and did it for anything. So I am showing a demo where we're taking a photo, and then from that photo capturing a lot of data. So we're taking a couple of photos, and then I go and look at, okay, what data were we able to capture here. And as you see in here, like from one image, we were able to capture reliably the title, the category, a structured category ID, the color. We got the suggested price, and then, oh, it restarted. Sorry. I'm going to stop it on the next one as well, so you can see what data we're able to capture on this Yeti thermos as well. Because we were able to capture so much information, and that information can be used to, for example, sell it online, like list it on a marketplace or something like that. Because right now, these things exist in the stores, in the recycling stations, but no one is going to the recycling station to come home with more stuff than they came there with. But these are resources that we can put back into the system without destroying them or like throwing them away. And so we're applying our technology and the AI technology to kind of help people or help the society kind of take care of their resources as well, which is really cool. This is what we call applied AI in kind of sustainable business. Was there a question, and should we take questions along the way, Danka and Stian?
You're welcome to. We can also have some minutes at the end, because I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, let's take the questions at the end, but feel free to come in with more questions along the way. So I'll continue on here. I'm going to talk a bit about kind of building our own software as well. Like we started a physical store with physical products, and then went on to build our software. And how did that happen? And here, like back in September 2023, we announced that we opened the first store and said we want to sell clothes and software. We didn't know exactly what kind of software we wanted to sell, but we knew that there is some opportunity here, and the best way to find out what people want is to kind of be your own most demanding customer. So that's what we decided to do. And then something happened in December 2023. OpenAI launched something called called Assistants, which was really cool. So the same day that they launched that, we launched our first version of the AI pricing assistant, because we knew pricing items is so hard. And like me with no experience within fashion, starting this business, and every item that we get in, we need to price. And my partner, Camilla, she knew exactly what to price things because she knew the brands and the prices. So what we basically tried to do was to just make her brain digital, and kind of help us, or help me price the items, because she was really good at it. I was not good at it. So I tried to automate and kind of replicate her brain. So that was kind of the start. And this is how it looked. So you write in the brand and the category, and then you get the response. So super simple. But the main problem here is like, okay, we already used 15 different SaaS solutions, like softwares and interface that we clicked into, and having the employees going into one more software was not something that they wanted to do. And I believe this is very important for like how to get people to adopt AI. That was a lesson for us. It's like introducing it as a new tool is not interesting at all for people. But if you are able to integrate it within their existing workflow, then suddenly it's super nice. And as you saw earlier, like they take a picture and then everything is filled out for them, and that's super nice. We also show them images of similar items in the inventory, and we do that just to make them trust whatever price we suggest. So that's it's like that's an interesting learning that I wanted to share. But so late or mid 2024, we went on Arendalsuka, which is a meeting place for public and private sector here in Norway. And we talked about what we was thinking about building. And then we had suddenly a lot of interest saying, okay, we also want to use your software. And we hadn't really started building the software. So we decided, okay, we need to, let's take the sales meeting and let's try to build a demo of what we want to achieve. So we went into an early version of, I'm going to show you very soon, early version of a product that's now called Riff.ai, Norwegian code generating platform. It was called Data Button at the time. But then we made the first demo of our product, which is what you can see here, where you could scan a digital product passport. It will capture the data, and then from that you can suggest the price. And as you see here, it takes a lot of time to get the suggestion for the price. And then after almost 6 seconds, you're ready. And then it's added, and the product is added to the system. But still, this is not like it's not improving the workflow materially, so it was not good enough. But it was good enough to make the first sales and have us believe in that we were able to build what we actually built now. So then we started rebuilding our like the tech. We wanted to build it like properly, but we've used AI a lot to write code. So probably 80 to 90% of the code is written by AI. But it's now a software product that's live have multiple have paying customers in multiple countries and continents actually. So we start rebuilding from scratch, and then we spent only 2 months, and then we went live with the first customer, and then our second one. And then we were kind of up and running, and had built this this platform where now it's so much easier to start and run your secondhand store. And we're trying to use AI where it makes sense, and not make it feel like you're using AI too much. It's like it's just helping you get stuff done. And I think that's like an important learning for us. In the start, we talked a lot about how this was AI powered and how this is changing everything. But people just want to have work done faster. They want more time. So we we had to kind of change our messaging a bit and talk more about like how we are giving back their time. We're taking the robot out of the human. So the AI can do the robot work, but and the human can do the human work and kind of the value add and the value creation part. So that was kind of the main stuff that I wanted to cover, and I'm very open to answering some questions about what we do and kind of how we're using AI. I see there is a first question here from Daniela. Let me see. Hello, there are real quantifiable benefits of using AI support in these platforms in terms of sustainability. I mean, we all know that the AI electricity consumed is not sustainable. I understand the economic effectiveness of the apps, but I believe we should keep reselling experience as the old-fashioned in-person relationship to underline people's awareness on sustainability. I agree to some degree, but let me add some context on some of the AI that we're using because I think this is a really interesting and an important topic. Is using AI sustainable or not? But for example, the machine learning model that we use to make pricing more efficient. That can be run on a mobile phone or on a computer. So it's not consuming more energy than like having your computer on. But it's making it possible to have these business models kind of make money instead of always losing money. And if you see, there isn't that many resale businesses that's able to sustain business for a longer period of time. And if we're going to make secondhand the first choice, we need to think and we need to adopt technology the same way that other parts of the fashion industry is adopting it. So I agree we should be smart, but I believe that the AI will make it easier to make these businesses economically sustainable as well, because it's more sustainable to use some AI to keep the business running rather than having the business go out of business and then the alternative is fast fashion. So I think it's important to see the bigger picture there as well. Any other questions before we move on to the next part from Stia?
Thank you very much, Einar. And just to say to all the attendees, you are welcome to also write in the chat if you have any questions, and we can take to address at the end if there is no time right now. But very, very big thank you to Inspiring, also the I think professionals who might be, in the classroom wanting to work more with digitalization, and they might also look at, I'm interested in sustainability, but I have skills somewhere else. So how can I actually work with that? And I think your examples are a perfect inspiration for that as well, just to partially also address this question from one of the participants. And then we'll give the floor to Stian if there is no further comments to our guest star as well, who is a program manager for Norwegian Catapult at Smart Innovation Norway, and he'll be sharing a lot of practical examples because he is quite savvy as well when it comes to these tech solutions, developing his own AI solutions and testing tools. So I think he's perfect for this job as well.
Awesome. I have my agents developing some stuff from my phone currently while you were talking, Aina. So we're never off. And I want to support one thing you said, Anna, before I continue, and that's just start playing around. Just do whatever. Start with ChatGPT, start with Gemini, I don't care. But just start playing around. It's not dangerous, it's fun. And it will help you see how it can support you in whatever work you're doing. So on that note, I will jump over to this. I will not use many slides. This is actually my only slide I have for you today. I will do everything live, and I will go through building some source libraries, try and create some assignments, and try and spin up an interactive tool. I will mainly be using 3 different AI tools today. ChatGPT, which hopefully most of you have heard about or used. I will use one of my favorite tools for learning, which is Notebook LM. Whenever I want to learn something or I need to find out something that my kids needs to learn about, that's my go-to. And for developing the interactive tool, we will use a coding app on the line of Riff, as Einar talked about, which is called Vercel, which is basically a coding app that helps you or your students to develop really cool stuff. Awesome. So I will go into, let's see here, where are you? There you are. ChatGPT, firstly. My AI agent called this a hook. And of course I have used AI to prepare for this presentation. And that is the life we do these days. We think and then we discuss with AI, and then AI help us do it faster. So what I'm doing here is posting in an image of my sweater here. There we go. Or t-shirt basically. I'm trying to get ChatGPT to tell me what sort of garment and material this likely is made of. Trying to estimate the environmental footprint, circular potential, and maybe some concrete classroom discussion questioning this garment could spark. And also notice how I am adding the output rules here. I'm trying to keep it under 200 words, just a conversational tone, and let's not keep it corporate. So here we see it's a black short sleeve t-shirt, probably made from cotton jersey or cotton polyester. There's a print, of course, and here you see, 1,500 to 1,700 liters of water. That's a lot. Your guys are trying to solve really tough issues here. And then, of course, since we're talking about fashion and trying to sell, resell used clothes, I thought maybe we should create a model image of this t-shirt, of course. While this is working, and we'll go back and look into it later on, I think we should jump into notebook because I don't like to wait for these sort of things, at least not when I'm presenting. So what you see here is I've done a little bit of preparations here. I have added into notebook. This is, I look at the URL here, notebooklm.google.com. As you can see, Google owns notebooklm. And it's basically a tool where I can control the sources the large language model is talking to. So if you notice the chat window here, it looks a lot like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, as many of you hopefully know. But what I can do here is I can add my own sources here, as well as adding my own sources. The interface here is in Norwegian. I tried to change it, but I will try and translate as much as possible. But the communication here will mostly be English in the responses. So here you can see I can actually prompt it to find new sources, either here or directly in the chat. And I can also add my own sources here. So if you have material you are going to discuss with your students, you can just add these sources in here, and you can enrich those sources with other sources talking about your subjects. And this is really valuable because instead of you having to Google manually and find sources reading them, you now have a tool that lets you, based on your own sources, based on your own plans that you follow, to search the World Wide Web for you and to add them into the context of your large language model. So what we can see here, now I'm going to create a report based on these sources to, oh Lord, let me just copy my prompt here. There we go. And if you look here, I'm posting it directly into, oh Lord, sorry guys, my touchpad is sort of dysfunctional right now. There we go. Now I got the whole one. Look, if we look here. So what I'm saying here is create an educator's overview report for high school teachers introducing sustainable fashion concept covering the subjects that follow. You have state of fashion industry, core circular economy principles, the policy framework, 3 practical classroom activities teachers can run, and key vocabulary students need to know. And again, I'm defining the output here. 1500 words, clear section, accessible language, etc. Which again, when I do send this will trigger some activities out here on the right. And then after a while, again, the agent needs time to work. So while that is working, hopefully our amazing models are ready to be looked at. Let's see here. Look at these wonderful people in, and this is based on a really bad image I took of myself, or basically my t-shirt, with our AI Plus t-shirts. And now I can add this into Aina's solution, or maybe you already have your image generator if you want some models. Yeah, cool. Let's see what's going on here. Here you can see the response from the report. It actually generated in the chat. Okay. It created a quite extensive report about the policy frameworks. And of course, I need to mention this is AI, and you can't blame the AI for doing wrong things, making mistakes. Whenever you send something away, it's your responsibility to you are responsible for whatever you're sending. You can't blame the AI for stuff. So it's critical that you read through it, that you check that the data is correct, and that you actually see that the activities is on board with what you want to create and stuff like that. This is computers, and computers, we have to be honest with ourselves. Computers are really stupid. They only do whatever you tell them to do. And if the data they get is wrong, then they will do then they will present stuff that's wrong. I have another way of saying that, but that's not suitable here. And then I wanted to see if there's any more sources relevant for this one. And Danka, please hold me in line when it comes to the time. I'm seeing that we're clocking in.
You have some like 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes. Oh, then we have to run into and create our interactive tool. Let's see. Then I'll just copy paste my prompt from here and we'll run over into our code editor here. So you see, and that I have there, and then we have to jump into this window. So this is a code editor which is available for anyone. Of course it costs money, unfortunately. Notebook LM is free to use, but a reminder there, when something is free, you are the product, so they're most likely using the data you are adding into Notebook to train their future models. But as long as you paste in stuff that is already publicly available, that should not be a problem. So what I did now, you see there came a little footnote here, pasted 34 lines. That's the prompt I pasted, which looks something on the lines of this. And it's build a fashion footprint calendar web app for educational use in sustainable classes. And then there's a lot of visuals. And this prompt is AI generated. So I have asked AI to prompt AI. And when I push this button, it starts to work. It's thinking about how it's going to do it. And then it starts to hammer it out. Luckily, since we are out of time, I came prepared. So what this prompt and this work you're seeing here on the right now will present is something on the lines of this. And here you see an educational tool, fashion footprint, understand the true cost of what you're wearing, and it's loading, preview starting. Of course it's working. So when you prepare a tool here, you can say to your students, look into these, we made this tool, and try and find mistakes, try and see, try and find errors, or just try and create awareness. You could probably build anything you want. And what I'm usually saying is that these tools is only limited by your own creativity. So whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing with your students, these tools can help you educate faster. They can make you a more efficient educators. And if you include your students in utilizing these tools, you will be amazed to see what the kids are actually able to do. I've been teaching kids this to use AI tools now for a while, and when they start to work in these tools, it is amazing to see the learning curve just explodes. They have an amazing creativity, and they don't have the limitations, I like to call it, that we adults have. So they create amazing stuff, everything from gaming to I've seen someone creating prediction models for chess players and everything. It is truly fun, and the value for the students is amazing. But for you as teachers, these tools will be able to take away a lot of your administrative work, the bureaucracy you're stuck in, unfortunately, and give you more time to focus on each and every student. So let's call that my call to action. Please use these tools. I should probably talk about this for tens of hours actually, but I had 15 minutes. This is a very short intro, and again, as both Einar and me have said already, find one tool, test it, and start a dialogue with it. Don't use it as Google. Ask it to teach you how to use it. Dear ChatGPT, could you help me learn how to use you better? That's a great way to start. And on that note, thank you guys.
Yes, thank you so much, Stian. I think it was also very inspirational, especially with these closing notes on how really, I mean, as earlier said as well, and very good that teachers are also aware, of course, of the real sustainability side of it. So, of course, using it responsibly and with a lot of intention and actually making it work for us and not the other way around is what going to, get us go here. So just to close off, I think we still have a couple more minutes. We might go a little bit over time, so I'm sorry about that. But I think it has been really useful and beneficial for all of us to hear both from the business examples on how, from Einar, on how, it doesn't have to be that you change industries just because you might think that it's not the most direct way to work in sustainable industries if you have different skill sets. So it is really amazing to see how you can make your business go and actually have something that can help you make it more financially sustainable as well, and in that way actually work long term. And then also to hear about the practical tools that both, as Stian really said, these kids sometimes amaze us, I think, on where the generations are standing in terms of their digital life and what they can use. But we don't need to look at that as an enemy, but we can actually make it into our advantage as well. And just from these very specific examples as well, to share two more, which are very low barrier and easy to take examples. I just wanted to share that the internet is full of resources that are already out there. So of course you can both use AI to collect these for you and hand it to you on a plate, but you can also search yourself. This is an example from Denmark, where two very creative professionals in the fashion industry created a learning module ready to be used for teachers. So what they did is they recorded some tutorial videos with specific skills that they teach you on how to sew and how to have a better eye for design, what kind of designs you can make with upcycling materials or upcycling old garments or old clothing. But at the same time, they created this learning module where they actually embed these video tutorials into a suggested class plan. So in that way, you already don't have to prepare the plan itself. So the activity is basically to use these videos as an introduction, teach the students the skills, but also teach them general awareness about this sustainability through a lot of discussions or interactive activities, and then actually implement practical activities, so sketching the ideas or actually making the design and cutting, sewing really in class, of course depending on the time you have in your classrooms for these topics. And then we have Then we have another very low barrier example, I would say, which is a mood board activity. The internet, again, is full of these ideas. You can use digital tools such as Pinterest or Canva, which are both tools which are already full of these templates readily available. And you can use these activities both for teaching awareness about overconsumption and how to, for example, make kids find their own style so that they don't have to overconsume in the future, because they know what they like and they will not buy into trends that just disappear overnight. But you can also use this in a different way and have a specific design ideas being planned out. And the good part about it, of course, is that it's full digital. So at this point, you don't have to use any physical materials yet. And then you can go into more physical or hands-on activities with a very clear intention. So in that way, again, it is a very sort of easy to buy into these ideas and implement the activities depending on your time for preparation. So I think we have seen a lot of examples from the inspiration from the business that you can take into your classroom and explain to students what they can make with their skills in the future when they go out to the real world to work, and also more specific sort of right now examples that you yourself can use Sorry, I think I cut off a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me. Perfect. So we're going a little bit over time. I apologize for that, but we are rounding off this webinar today. And I wanted to give this as a call to action as well, especially because there have been a lot of valuable information that you have heard today. So it might have been a lot to take in, but you are very welcome and encouraged to follow us along in the STITCH project through our website and our YouTube channel, where all these resources will be available. And there is also a lot of exciting stages that are coming up in the project, where we're going to share training resources as well. So I highly encourage you to follow us along for that. And I will leave this QR code up for a minute and then share a link as well in the chat. But after this webinar, I would really appreciate, in the name of my project partners as well, if you could share your feedback with us about today's webinar. And it is also a way for you to keep in touch for the next webinars that are happening in June, and then some more after the summer as well. So we hope that it has been valuable for you, and thank you so much for all of you for your participation and attention.